Hello, good evening and welcome to our last bulletin for the day. This is Easter Monday and live from the News Hub at Adesawe, Kanda and Accra. This is News at 10. You can hear us live on 3FM 92.7 and you can also catch us live on DSTV or DSTV channel 279. I'm Stephen Ante. Let's start with the major news highlights of the day. Residents of Wejagbawe and adjoining communities are terrified following warnings that an earth tremor which hit the communities 2 weeks ago is a sign of an imminent earthquake. While the Ghana Geological Survey Authority is busy analyzing data, some residents are considering relocating from the affected communities. And police at Sege have arrested 6 persons, including 2 females, who have been terrorizing residents in the Adan West area. The suspects were apprehended at Sege and 3 other surrounding communities in a dawn operation. The Easter Monday was marked with picnic and other forms of merrymaking. Beyond the beach space, parks and gardens hosted many revelers who kept themselves busy, engaging in pleasurable activities. And on the international front, South African anti-apartheid campaigner Winnie Mandela has died aged 81. Winnie was a former wife of South Africa's first black president, Nelson Mandela. Those were our major news highlights. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook and on 3news.com, and you can hear us on 3FM 92.7. Up next is a big one. Welcome back. Now, latest reports from Sarkodie in the Bunahafo region has suggested that some thugs attacked a police patrol team prior to the attack on their Sunafo South MP, Eric Opoku, on Friday. The media reports again suggested that the thugs seized the police patrol vehicle and used it in a series of robbery operations at targeted locations, including the residence of the MP, Eric Opoku. On the phone lines now, we're getting the public relations officer for the Bunahafo Regional Police Command, Chief Inspector Augustine Opong, to join our conversation. Right, we don't have him. When we do, we'll bring him on so we can continue with the discussion. So latest reports we have from Sarkodie in the Bunahafo region suggest that some thugs attacked police patrol team prior to an attack on the Sunafo MP, Eric Opoku, on Friday. The media reports also suggest that the thugs seized the police patrol team patrol vehicle and used it in a series of robbery operations, targeted operations, including the residence of the MP. Shortly, we'll get onto the telephone lines to speak with the Regional Police Command. But before that, let's move to some other stories. Now, the police at Sege has arrested 6 persons, including 2 females, who have been terrorizing residents in the Adan West districts. The suspects were apprehended at Sege and 3 other communities in a dawn operation.
Items retrieved include 2 motorbikes, washing powder, desktop computers and crates of eggs. According to the police, the suspects used the female colleagues as bait to lure their prey into alleged amorous relationship and eventually rob them of their possession. The Adan West District Police Commander, ASP George Abuaje, said the ringleader, a notorious criminal, Evans Ediama, known as Aka, is connected to several criminal cases reported to the station and has over the years terrorized residents.
Anytime that he does his operation, it's hardly before we can get him. I had a tip-off that he's hiding out in a certain community called Koledo. So this morning around 4:30, I organized my men and we moved to the area and we were able to get him.
The district chief executive of Adan West, Ajote Lawe Akrofi, called on residents to assist the police to fight crime.
These people operate in their various houses. The landlords know them. Because if you are a landlord and you think you do not know them, they come to rent a room from you. One person comes to rent a room, before you are aware, about 7 people are in that room. That is a recipe for disaster. That is something that should warn you that these people are criminals.
And South African anti-apartheid campaigner Winnie Mandela has died aged 81. She was the former wife of South Africa's first black president, Nelson Mandela.
Mrs. Mandela was born in 1936 in the Eastern Cape, then known as Transkei. She was a trained social worker when she met her future husband, Nelson Mandela, in the 1950s. They were married for a total of 38 years, although for almost 3 decades of that time, they were separated due to Mr. Mandela's imprisonment. Her marriage to Mandela began to fall apart in the years after he was released from prison in 1990. The couple divorced in 1996, nearly 4 decades after they were married. They had 2 children together. Despite their separation, she kept his surname and maintained ties with him. Family spokesperson Victor Dlamini said in a statement, Winnie Mandela died after a long illness for which she had been in and out of hospital since the start of the year. Retired Archbishop and Nobel laureate Desmond Tutu praised her as a defining symbol of the struggle against apartheid. President Cyril Ramaphosa said with the departure of Mama Winnie, South Africa has lost one of the very few who are left of its stalwarts and icons. He added, Winnie was one of those who will tell the ANC exactly what is wrong and right, saying she will be missed.
Now, here is a profile of the anti-apartheid campaigner Winnie Mandela.
Nomzamo Winifred Zaniwe Madikizela, commonly known as Winnie Mandela, was born on 26 December 1936. She was a South African anti-apartheid activist and politician and held several government positions, including Deputy Minister of Arts, Culture, Science and Technology. A member of the African National Congress, ANC party, she served on the ANC's National Executive Committee and headed its Women's League. In 1963, Mandela was imprisoned. Following the Rivonia trial, Winnie Mandela became his public face during the 27 years of his imprisonment. She was arrested and detained by state security services on various occasions and spent several months in solitary confinement. In the 1980s, Madikizela Mandela endorsed violent actions, including necklacing to advance the anti-apartheid cause. Nelson Mandela was released from prison in 1990. The couple separated in 1992, although remained married until the divorce was finalized in March 1996. As a senior ANC figure, she took part in the post-apartheid ANC government, although she was dismissed from her post amid allegations of corruption. She temporarily retreated from active political involvement, although returned several years later. A controversial figure, Winnie Mandela retained a level of popular support with the ANC and was known to her supporters as the mother of the nation.
And South Africa's High Commissioner to Ghana, Lulama Zingwana, has described Winnie Mandela's death as untimely. Speaking on News 360, Ambassador Zingwana disclosed that Winnie Mandela was in church on Sunday, something that makes her death more shocking.
This is a shocking news, which has thrown the rest of Africa into some mourning. So how did you receive the news?
Yes, it was shocking, unexpected, untimely. You know, last month she was on the campaign as we are going to elections next year. She was on the campaign raising awareness, educating people to go and register to vote because a vote is your right. And yesterday, only yesterday, she was in church. She was active in the church as well, not only in community and in the struggle. So she took all of us by surprise. We are shocked.
Now, we understand moments ago people gathered in front of her house in South Africa. How will you describe the scene there, and how is the whole South Africa receiving the news?
You know, Mama Winnie was our African heroine, the icon of our struggle, the lioness of the struggle against apartheid in South Africa. She fought against the greatest bastion of oppression and exploitation, apartheid, and she conquered in the end. We were celebrating a great life, a life well lived.
Yeah, you know, Winnie Mandela lived in a time, the political atmosphere in South Africa, I mean, definitely will come with so many controversies. But how would you describe Winnie Mandela's impact on South African politics?
I think she played an important role in the struggle against apartheid. When Nelson Mandela and all our leaders were incarcerated in Robben Island, she kept the flame of liberation alive. She kept the name of Nelson Mandela, the ANC, alive in South Africa. She also ensured that she mobilized and educated young people about the struggle and why we all had to fight for freedom. She was always concerned about widows, about young people. She was always there among them, whether they had a problem, they needed a scholarship to go to school, to go to university. She was always there to assist them. She was involved also in the women's movement in South Africa. She was elected the president of the ANC Women's League, and she led the women for many years and became a member of parliament in 1994 until today.
This is still News at 10. We're live from the News Hub at Adisawe, Kanda. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Let's go back to our very first story. Well, the latest reports we're receiving from Sarkodie in the Brunhafo region suggests that some thugs attacked a police patrol team prior to an attack on the Sunafo South MP. On the line, we do have the public relations officer of the Brunhafo Regional Police Command, Chief Superintendent Inspector. I beg your pardon, Chief Inspector Augustine Opong on the telephone line. So good evening, sir. Thank you extremely for your time. So can you confirm to us whether the reports that your patrol team was attacked and overpowered at Sarkodie are true?
Please, I'm not getting you.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, better.
Yes, sir. So I'm asking if you can confirm to us whether indeed a patrol team from Sarkodie was attacked by so-called thugs. Hello, sir. Right.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, a driver was attacked by some group of young men. He was pulled out from his car. Whilst others were buying something from the roadside.
Interesting. So this was a patrol team, correct?
Hello?
This was a patrol team? Right.
When the station officer had a wing of the story, he came with men and all the youths ran away and they picked the car to the station.
All right. So how far were the investigations into that particular one? Have you been able to arrest anybody in connection with the attack on the patrol team?
Not yet, my brother. You see, when something like this happens, because the people were, their numbers were greater, to arrest will cause another problem. So we put our intelligence on the ground and then pick them one by one. So at least it will take some time before we'll be able to get the right culprits.
All right, so I need to get clarity.
Wrong.
All right, Chief, I need to get clarity on what you just said, but that...
No, your line is not...
Can you hear me, sir?
Now better.
Yeah, so I'm saying that I need clarity on what you just said, that because the number is large, you cannot affect arrest immediately, because if you do, there will be problems. What kinds of problems are you talking about?
No, what I was talking about was that if something like this happens and you rush in arresting, you know, let me calm down for you to get me well. If you go to the villages, the number of policemen there are not to the standard. For example, if you see some areas which are supposed to be maybe 20 men, you divide these men to patrol and then banks and other things. But for some reasons, I don't want to disclose, you know, these people that we want to fight them. If they listen to what I'm telling you, then they will re-strategize.
Okay, so it also means that no arrests have been made yet on the attack against the Member of Parliament for Sarkodie.
But I believe that not long we will get.
Right. Chief Inspector Augustine Opong, we're grateful for your time. Thank you extremely. Chief Inspector Opong is the Public Relations Officer of the Bunahafo Regional Police Command. Let's move on to other stories. Residents of Weja, Gbawe and adjoining communities are terrified following warnings that an earth tremor, which hit the communities 2 weeks ago, is a sign of an imminent earthquake. While the Ghana Geological Survey Authority is busy analyzing data, some residents are considering relocating from the affected communities.
On March 24, 3 earth tremors hit part of Weja, Gbawe, McCarthy Hill and the Nyenano enclave. The first 2 happened at 3:09 a.m., followed by another at 3:41 a.m., with the third occurring at 11:31 a.m. the same day. Following the earth tremors, the Ghana Geological Survey Authority, GGSA, has warned the fault zones are still active, and it is possible that an earthquake could occur at any time. The mountainous areas are said to be prone to earthquakes. 38-year-old Enima Esiama lives on the peak of the Weja mountain.
We were watching television and I felt the earth shook. So I told my children, but they didn't believe me until a certain man came here to confirm. I hear the area is prone to earthquakes, so I will leave one day.
Around midnight, I was asleep when I heard a very heavy thud, as if something a heavy metal has been dropped. And I wasn't sure. It was an earth tremor, but it happened for the second time, and I heard the windows shaking and the roof, and I noticed it was an earth tremor.
Last 2 weeks' earth tremor could not be the first time residents are experiencing this. Esther Deku, a resident, said they have been warned on what to do immediately an earthquake struck.
People know why earthquake
We are surrounded by mountains all over, and because of this, anytime there is an earthquake, they advise us to get out into the open space on the park.
Ibrahim Abubakar is also contemplating moving his family out.
The way the earthquake, it shoot like a bomb, like something. Even my children and my wife all are running away. What about me too?
Ghana's severest earthquake was on June 22, 1939, with a magnitude of 6.4. Gbawe was in the news again 28 years ago with 2 earthquakes, the first measuring 3.1 in magnitude and 10 kilometers in depth, occurring at 11:43 a.m. on April 14, 1990, 4.2 kilometers from the town, while the second was measured at 2.7 in magnitude and 10 kilometers in depth, occurred at 1:34 a.m. on February 12, 1990, 1.2 kilometers from the community.
And unconfirmed reports indicate award-winning Ghanaian rapper Sarkodie escaped unhurt after a car he was traveling on was involved in an accident. Here's a video, beg your pardon, making rounds on social media about the incident. In the video, Sarkodie is seen being ushered into a waiting sullen vehicle, which later drove him away. Right, the accident, we're told, is said to have occurred on his way to Achim Agugu, the hometown of Amachi Dede. Attempts to reach management of the BET award recipient to confirm the news has proven futile. We'll be we'll be working the phone lines to get you an update, but I apologize we were unable to show you the video which is circulating on social media. But Easter Monday was marked with picnics and other forms of merrymaking. Beyond the beach space, parks and gardens hosted many revelers who kept themselves busy engaging in pleasurable activities. Here's a report by Owusu.
There are 3 major days on the beach calendar here in Ghana. That is 6th March, 1st July, and today, Easter Monday. And of course, it's expected that there will be a lot of fun activities right here at the
The beaches are usually the place to be on holidays, but for many holiday makers, it is refreshing to hang out in places other than the beach. It was a golden moment as neighbors, families and churches engaged in fun activities.
This is a special day for outing, and talking about Easter Monday, a lot of holiday makers troop to the beach to have fun. But beyond the beach space, a lot of fun activities happen. And so we are at Elwak, and we are being told that they'll be having the tug of peace right about now. So let's join them and see which side wins.
Weight really counts in a tug of peace contest. The big mamas stood alert, ready, set, go. That was a disappointing knockout.
And this flower, look, potholes here. Why? No. Let's do it again.
To the fun seekers, engaging in pleasurable activities refreshes them.
We have the time to meet new people, get to know new friends, chat, have fun, and at the end of the day, it's fulfilling.
Always when you are to yourself, it's not good. It's good to socialize. It's good to know more people.
Doing something like this in the garden, in a cool, serene place, I think is very interesting. And I'll encourage people to do that more often.
And the PlayStation contest proved quite fascinating.
That will wrap up on that interesting note. I'm Stephen N.T. Thank you very much for making time. On behalf of the crew, good night. There is more news at 3news.com.